You. What's happening, people? What's up? So I got this string together pretty quick. So was considering not streaming, but pretty fucking tired. But yeah. The week greatness. What's up? Bass Pro Shop. What's up? The week greatness. What's happening? Yeah. Just chat over up a little bit. I just decided to. I was on the stream like 45 minutes ago. I had shit to do. Haircut. Yeah, what's up, guys? Yeah, it's it's like fucking last week it was 100 degrees a couple of days. It's just too much. Fucking $40 to get it chopped. Fucking bartenders anymore. I mean, bartenders, barbers, barbershops are crazy. I don't know if they charge the white guy, $10 more. Yeah. It's almost the 4th of July. Yeah, I'm probably going to work that day. I can't afford not to. Yeah, I think it's about 90 degrees here. So I moved. I moved last Sunday. I already saw another guy about a room today. I'm in like a 2-man room, but there's not another guy in here yet. And I save 2 hours a day traveling because I'm, like halfway closer to work. So it's a little cheaper. But the place I'm going to, it's better. It's got there's no washer dryer here. That fucking blows. I had to walk my wash up to the laundromat last night. Yeah, well, you got to expect heat in the summer. I mean, I'm a landscaper. It's just a little surprising that we got such hot days in June, but you can expect that shit in July and August. I mean, right around 4th of July is when it usually gets hot as hell, at least around here. No, you don't landscape in the winter. I'll work probably until around Christmas, and I'll be out of work for probably just about 3 months. So I got to save my money, that's all. Speaking of money, if anybody feels like donating, there's a link at the top of the page for my buymeacoffee.com. Yeah, I could move out of here this Friday if I had the money, but I don't. So I have to wait till like a week from Friday. The weed is heat. What's up? What's up? Who else hasn't shown? I see 8 people up there. Oh, man. Yeah, this place here is fucked up, man. I mean, they ain't scrubbed the tub in probably a year. Yeah. Fucking. And I was going to do it, but then I was like, you know what? Fuck that. I'm just moving. There's no washer dryer, Fuck it. The 4th of July in Chicago is usually very violent. Well, I know. See, where I'm at right now, I'm in in Germantown, Philadelphia, and I'm in the hood part, pretty much. Right around Germantown and Shelton, you got guys sitting on the corner drinking all day. You know, you got undercover cops sitting there. Some guy in the Charger, like, did a U-B from a parking spot, and he had like the red, white, and blue, or the police colors in the back on the little white, and all the brothers were like, "Damn, that was a cop, man." You know, they got undercover sitting around. You got a Muslim mosque right down the street. Although, you know, I mean, most of your Muslims are, you know, they're not troublemakers. At least to my knowledge, you know. You go in another country. Is it hard to own a firearm? I wouldn't know. I'm a felon, so I wouldn't know. I know it's hard to get a concealed carry for Philadelphia. That's not easy. I know when you live in a liberal city, if you shoot somebody, you better make damn well sure that that was your only resort, your last resort, because yeah, they'll stick up for the criminal. This is liberal land, you know, Philadelphia. What's up, Ludwig? North Wales. Yeah, I get off the train at North Wales sometimes. Yeah, it's a nice area. North Wales is a nice area. Yeah, I go to Lansdale every day, but my boss lives close to the North Wales station. But 3 days a week he picks up his buddy to work with us, and I think he lives closer to like the Lansdale station. But North Wales is, I mean, I cut lawns in North Wales. It's a pretty nice area. Yeah, yeah. Most Muslims, folks in my area live in the suburbs, Chicago. Most of them are good people. Yeah, you know, I mean, they stand outside of the mosque. A few of them said hi to me. You know, I haven't had any problems around here, but you know, this is it's the fucking ghetto. Yeah, 50 years ago, my grandmother's from Germantown. 50 years ago, I can remember her taking me on the bus up to Shelton Avenue there, and it was thriving. Big department store, shit like that. Now, most of these joints now, like the little mini market or whatever, you can't even walk in. You got to deal with them through a window, or sometimes there's a box that spins. You know, so you put your credit card in there, tell them what you want. They spin it, take the card, run the card, put the item, spin the. Oh man, it's fucking ghetto. I guess they're afraid of being robbed. You know, but it's I got to buy a fucking air conditioner. You know. What are you gonna do? What the fuck are you gonna do? At least it's a step up. Uh, It's crazy how some areas fall off. Yeah, I mean, I remember as a child, there's big department stores and all. And one building, they made lofts out of them. And I bet it's expensive, but who the fuck wants to pay that? The moment you step out of your door, you're in the hood. I mean, this morning, right? It's like 7:30. And I just got out of the McDonald's to eat, right? This black dude comes up to me. He's like, "You got a cigarette?" So I give him a cigarette. He's like, "Why don't you let me drink the rest of your coffee? I don't have no coffee or something to eat today." I was like, "No, I'm drinking it." And he asked me again. I'm like, "No." What the fuck? You know? And I originally am from Roxborough, which is like pretty much next to Germantown. And that was a decent area in Philly. It still is, but I hear they're getting some homeless over there. A lot of them already are shit. They're just getting worse. They've been shit for years. Yeah, I should be moving again in a couple of weeks. If I can save the money. He won't work with me on this money. So, yeah. Yeah, well, I don't see them all voting for a Republican. And they're going to cheat. And from what I understand, the reason why he was elected because the Democrats made a lot of changes, electoral changes, and a lot of people didn't even realize that there was a vote going on, or something to that effect. Well, what I don't understand is it's pretty obvious the country doesn't want somebody like him. So why would you vote for him? But then again, they probably cheated him in. I'm telling you. They probably cheated him in. What's up, Nano? Same as our clan ass there in London, yeah. He said he put a Nintendo Switch game. Did you now? Gee, who in this fucking commie clown for mayor of New York? I don't believe that was a legitimate election. And from what I understand, I can't properly explain it, but the Democrats did something to they did something to change the way the election runs. And they also ran it in a different month. And they did a bunch of shit so that a lot of people didn't even know a vote was going on. A city of 8 million, only 400,000 voted, I think. So, yeah, he has this plan to, and then he supposedly has another plan to help the grocery stores that are around. Because you don't have giant grocery stores in New York. You got, a lot of littler stores. But if people are going to be getting free food from the government, you don't think that's going to hurt the little guy with, because the rent there is insane. And the liberals are saying, well, he has a plan to help them too. Yeah. And where's all that money coming from? The fucking tax, and he's talking about raping the billionaires and the millionaires. They're just going to chase them out in New York City. I mean, you know, just going to chase them out. It's just, it's ridiculous. There would be lines for them grocery stores, and yeah, yeah. He's also looking to defund the police, yeah, which is which is ridiculous in New York. I mean, it, it, I mean, what makes these liberals think that those kind of asshole ideas are popular with the population? They're not. They're just not. Yeah, that's it. Well, as you know, I operate from the perspective that we are watching a scripted series of events laid out in the Q post, so I don't see any of it as legitimate. I don't see Q as too legitimate either, man. I really don't. Yeah, what I don't get is how they keep coming back to this progressive commie stuff when clearly the election of Donald Trump put the kibosh on that. You know, so instead of maybe regrouping, moving more to the middle, the Democrats are going insane again. Yeah, they're staying insane. I mean, it's ridiculous if you think about it. But I think and I said, what better way to teach them or the race than to get them exactly what they want? Latoya Williams, new subscriber. Well, thank you, Latoya. Whoever the hell you are, I don't remember you. Say hi in the chat, sweetheart. But well, I don't know. I don't know, Bass Pro. A lot of times, whatever they do in New York and California, it's copied by the other commie mayors. So it's not just going to be New York affected. It's going to be a good portion of America. And he's talking about giving away food. And these stores wouldn't have to pay rent, taxes. And he plans to do that by raping the billionaires. And they're not going to go for that. They're just going to fucking leave. Yep. Why not, Jimmy? Hi, Latoya Williams. So how did you find me? How'd you find me? Latoya Williams. I'm closing in on 300 subs for the fourth time. 300 subs for the fourth time. Yeah, I got 298 subs, baby. And ain't seen AJ and don't care. Plus, he wants to shift the tax burden to richer white neighborhoods. Yeah, of course. Willie Channel. Who's Willie? I don't know who you mean. Who's Willie? Oh, it's Nelson? Yeah, probably. Q instructor, watch New York, watch California. I had no clue what it meant at the time. I think I see now we were going to be watching controlled demolition of the states. Well, come on. I mean, so Q says watch the two goofiest fucking states in the union. That's not real hard to come up with that. So I don't believe none of that Q shit. I just don't. I don't believe none of it. Father for a couple of weeks, determined it was bullshit. Simple as that. God damn, man. Why do I keep getting? All right. Ludwig sent me. Okay. Bricks Vids. Hey, what's up? Just gonna help from watching for 4 hours. Work for it. Bricks Vids. I don't think I've seen you before, but welcome to the chat. Yeah, like who's running against this commie in New York? You've been here once? All right. One stream? Okay. Who's going to run against? Yeah, I think the whole thing is rigged. I really do. And like I said, from what I understand, the Democrats changed the game the way the primaries were ran. Like they ran them on a different month. A lot of people didn't know that the primaries were going on, and there was confusion because they moved it up or back different month. Simple. Eric Adams. Well, I guess he might have a shot, right? You got a channel. Frito's brother. Jesus Christ. So I ain't heard from what's his name? Liquid. I ain't heard from Liquid. I guess that girlfriend got him wrapped around her finger. I know he's back in the States, but he's going to go back there. Croatia. He's got like a job lined up and everything. So the Republican candidate is Curtis Lee, but yeah, but he's a bit of a joke, I think. You know. Well, let's face it, New York and California are the two goofball liberal epicenters. Yeah, I think that if that dude does get elected, I think it's going to hurt a lot of cities because whatever they implement, the goofball mayors of Democratic cities, they'll try it too. You know, And these people never come up with a great idea. They make it sound good to their mentally incapacitated constituents, but they never come up with anything good. Can I be here? Come on, man. Did I say you couldn't? Yeah, but no, I'm of a mind that I don't think that he actually got those votes. I think he got some, but I think the Democrats have elections rigged. I do. It's the only thing that it's the only logical way to explain them continuing to vote for the same party that's let things get worse over the years. Why would people? Yeah, that's the only thing that makes sense to me. I think he got some votes legitimately, but I think there's a whole bunch of illegitimate votes. So, well, we'll say my friend is motorbike through Croatia at the moment. Lots of awesome waterfalls around. That's where unlimited liquid was, Croatia. Yeah, Vandani won against Cuomo, the disgraced former New York State governor. Yeah, well, doesn't surprise me. I hear he beat the shit out of him too, didn't he? Election results for the primaries for New York mayor. The incumbent Eric Adams will run as an independent. Yeah. So Zoran got, come on, 43.5%. Cuomo got 36.4. So he beat him by 7 points. Damn. Wow. Uh, yeah, no. I think some people vote for this insanity, but there's not that many. Look, you can say what you want, but every year in these democratic cities, they vote against their own interests. Why would they do that? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Somebody's stealing. Somebody's doing something wrong. If it doesn't make some kind of logical sense, I mean, they can demonize the Republicans all they want. The evidence is there that these democratic cities, they get worse. More crime. They're letting the criminals go now. So, oh, Steve Cray fishing for perch. All right, Steve, hey, catch one for me. Yeah, so maybe say the same in Canada, but I live here. I know the population very well. They are not in their right mind. They consistently vote against their self-interest. They will not change until the pain reaches them personally. Yeah. Yeah, well, a lot of these Yeah, you too, Steve. Thanks for popping by. A lot of these fucking liberal types are nuts. They're mentally insane. They just had a rally just to disrespect Trump. No kings. Like, what did that accomplish? Nothing. They did it so they could disrespect Trump. And I was down there with a sign that said, Trump is king. Yeah, look what they did to Trump in 2020. I mean, who the fuck thinks Biden won that legitimately? What person in their right mind could possibly think? Oh, and how could Kamala Harris get as many votes as she got? What'd she get, 75 million? It's ridiculous. She's fucking nuts. uh, 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 uh. Fucking Christ. Christ. Yeah. Yeah, my brother was telling me that the liberals, they bust people around to vote. And they get off the bus, they give them a fucking piece of paper who to vote for. Bye, guys. All right, Brick. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah. Oh, God, am I fucking tired. Jesus Christ. Fucking exhausted. Well, Cash Bar, what's happening, man? What's happening, buddy? You plans for a move? Yeah, I went and saw a guy today. It's not the greatest place, but in the sense that I'll have my own room. Because right now I moved into a joint. It's got another bed over there, but there's not another person. They haven't rented it out yet. And I don't think anybody's skipping down the street to rent this shit. I just made a lateral move. you know, I mean, I couldn't go to sleep in my own room up at that Rachel's place. I mean, it's a really nice house, but she got 8 men in 2 rooms. Like, what the fuck? These motherfuckers got sleep apnea. They're, sound like they're gonna die in their fucking sleep, keep me up all night. So now at least I can sleep. you know. But there's no washer dryer. It was dirty when I came in. So the place I just went to, it was a little better than here. It has a washer and dryer, my own room. I just I gotta buy an air conditioner. That's $250. I wasn't counting it. And I got to come up with $1,200. You know what I mean? Which, ain't gonna be easy. What's up, boss? Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I've been in here a week, and within a week, I'm already looking to move. You know what I mean? But I knew what I was doing. You know what I mean? Because I couldn't get any sleep where I was. Yeah. I mean, two of the guys in my room didn't work. Now they were respectful and they went to sleep early, but all you need is one guy to say, "Fuck you, it's my room too." Keep the light on till 11, 12 o'clock. All these motherfuckers seem to want to play their cell phone on speaker. They just got no respect for you at all. Yeah. So. Oh, yeah, that's what I need now, some fucking privacy. You know what I mean? Really. That's what the fuck I need. What the hell is private G, boss? Private G? Private G. Yeah, I had to get the fuck out of there. I had to do it. I had to do it. I had to get the fuck out of there. So Trump got a big win in the Supreme Court. These district judges don't have the jurisdiction to order nationwide injunctions. They don't. That's why they're called district judges, these federal judges. But they can still do an end around if they declare a class action. Now, I don't know why the Trump team didn't foresee that and have that included in the argument before the Supreme Court, because they're not going to rule on something that they don't argue. So I don't know what the Trump lawyers were thinking, but Mr. Bobbity, back from lunch. Back from lunch. Did you have what for lunch today, Bobbity? I was talking to these two black women. I was waiting for my food about politics. Complete fucking idiots. Just complete idiots. And I was talking to another guy this morning. He was a reasonable guy, but said, "Well, Trump filed bankruptcy 8 times." I said, "No, it was 6." He said, "Well, 6 bankruptcies? What do you?" I'm like, he had over 200 successful businesses, and he failed 6 times. So if he was a baseball player, what would that be? You know what I mean? Wiener Schnitzel, hot dog, and fries. She said, "So you had AJ and fries." 6 businesses out of 450. Yeah, I know. It's at least a couple hundred. I know. It's ridiculous. I mean, the arguments aren't. And then the guy's like, yeah, but his father gave him a bunch of money. I'm like, I said, you have children? He said, yeah. I said, would you help them if you had money? He said, yeah. I said, so what did Trump do wrong? And he turned like a million into billions. What are you talking about? Oh my God, man. I don't think anybody's ever said that to him. Because the guy was, he's reasonable. He's listening to me. Usually they'll defend that, and he didn't defend it. I'm like, my God, woo! Somebody's father helped them. He turned $1 million into 3 or 4 billion, right? I know people personally heard it more than Trump. That's not, they're MIA, probably blew over. That's how most people are. Yeah, well, yeah. If I got $1 million, I would go right out and buy a property. Go right out and buy a property. Spend $250,000. Maybe do some investing. Take 100,000, put 100,000 aside and do some investing. Of course, I'm fucking tired, man. God damn. What the fuck? So Dershowitz channel. SCOTUS rules that minors can't get transgender surgery. Jesus Christ, that's even a thing. That it's even a fucking thing. Yeah. Any news of our friend Nelson? Oh Christ, he comes on as various different people. Who the fuck knows? You know? He thinks all that shit is fun, but I don't. I really don't. Give me 1 second. These fucking air conditioners are making me cold. I don't want to turn it down because it's going to get hot. Trust me, it's going to get hotter. So. Yeah, Kamala and his family has spent the 600,000 donations and now asking for $1 million to pay legal fees. Does he know Nelson in real life? Only online. You're probably Nelson. Fucking Christ. I did meet Nelson in real life. I think most of you know that. Yeah, how about this though? So, Bobby, I tried to watch a podcast on this and didn't get to all of it. But did they say what they spent the money on? Because it wasn't bail. Some organization paid the bail. Yeah, he's being charged with first degree murder. Yeah. Well, first degree means premeditated. I don't think they'll find him guilty of that. I think he'll be found guilty of some kind of manslaughter, if that's what it's called in California. Because first degree is like they planned to do it, and they're saying because he brought the knife and all, but I don't know. It's kind of hard to prove that. I would think. Supposedly, there's video. Well, not supposedly. It's official. There's a video and of the incident, and they let a bunch of reporters watch it. And damn right well, if that white dude did one wrong thing, they'd have been reporting on it. But nope, they ain't saying shit. So his whole self defense thing, because from what some of the reporters said, he never even he never what's it called? He never touched the kid. Didn't threaten him. None of that bullshit. So. Let's go outside and smoke a cigarette. There it is. Fuck. I'm starting to get the spins. I don't know what from what I'm on. Hotspot my phone. The phone's right next to the laptop. I just saw it spin, so I think it's hard for the signal out here. Sometimes I even have problems with the phone. If my channel goes out, just stay there for a minute. Or I'll start the stream because there is Wi-Fi here, but it wasn't working that great. How's Wi-Fi not? Wi-Fi not for TV? I don't know. She's still wanting the room in the house. The little prick she put in there to fucking harass me. He's still there. I should beat his ass. Really should. I should beat his ass. White man's burden. I'll never forget that. I said, look, the Wi-Fi's so bad, I can't even run my TV on. Wi-Fi not for TV. She screamed at me. And I told her husband, he said, listen, when it comes to the house, talk to me. When it comes to the money, talk to her. He's like, I understand. You know, he put a repeater up or something. Every member of the Anthony family has chirping smoke alarms, 100% guaranteed. What do you mean by that? Butler, PA was a staged event. Is this you again, Nelson? Like, you know. Trump did like 90 some rallies, and the only one that CNN aired live was the Butler one, where he was shot at. It's almost like they knew, isn't it? Out of 90 some rallies, the only one they televised was the one in Butler, PA. Ain't that something? Jesus Christ. That's not a coincidence. Yeah. It's just not. Oh, man. I stayed up way too late last night. At 2 o'clock, I got up at like 7:30. Oh, yeah, so my job's going pretty good. I mean, I got a pretty decent boss. You know, there's just like zero drama there. You know? I mean, the drama now is the heat. Yeah. So, you know. So good to see you hitting a good stride, Jim. Oh, thank you, Bobby. Thank you. Yeah, it's good for me to see it too. Yeah. Like I said, this was kind of like a lateral move. I moved here. I knew what I was getting into. I knew it was shit. You know, but I basically have my own room, although they could stick somebody else in there at any moment because it's a 2-man room. But I'm able to sleep. I mean, and the other place, don't get me wrong, the other place was nice. It was really nice. But she's got 8 men in 2 rooms. It's like, what the fuck? So if you work, you're fucked. If you got to get up early in the morning, you're just fucked. And a lot of these people, they don't have much respect for you, Because most apartments in America cost $1,000 or more. Well, I'm renting a room in a house with 4 other guys. It looks like they're all black. They're all older, 50s, 60s. The house isn't air conditioned. I got to buy an air conditioner for my room. That's the one thing I don't like. And the only time that's a problem is when it's extremely hot, which is summertime. But you spend most of your time in your room anyway. So $600 a month. That's cheap. So, what the fuck? I remember paying when I was 20 years old, or no, 24, which was 38 years ago. Me and my brother got an apartment. I think we were paying $550. Yeah, and the only like you can get a cheap apartment in a shitty neighborhood, and you really don't want to live in a shitty neighborhood. I mean, you could get robbed. You could stop a police bullet, maybe. Yeah. I mean, so far nobody's fucking me around here, but I don't walk around late at night. You know? So let me see something. Yeah. Second here. Yeah. Video from my brother.
We just witnessed something that should terrify every American who still believes in sanity. New York City, the same city that once stood defiant after 9/11, just handed its Democratic primary to a radical who once flirted with Hamas sympathies and is now one step away from running America's largest city. This is a Democratic blueprint for the rest of the country to take notice. You'll see who's really pulling the strings, what it signals for the future, and why reality may be the only thing that saves us as a country. We're not just talking about one radical winning an election. This is about an entire political party walking away from the foundational values that hold a civilized society together. We're talking about white progressives with trust funds literally colonizing working class cities and installing their pet radicals. Let's get into it. Hey guys, welcome to the channel. So if you like our videos and you haven't already, you should become a subscriber to the channel. You can hit that notification bell and smack the like button because it helps us get our message out to more people. Also, tomorrow night, we're doing a live stream. Friday nights at 6 o'clock Eastern, we always do a live stream. Everybody in the chat has a great time. You should join us. It's a lot of fun. So let's talk about what just happened in New York, because frankly, nobody else seems to want to address the elephant in the room. We're calling this a political earthquake, but that's being generous. This is more like watching a civilization decide to delete itself in real time. Assemblyman Zoran Mamdani just won the Democratic primary for mayor of New York City with 44% of the vote. Now, in New York, winning the Democratic primary is basically like being handed the keys to the city. And who exactly did New Yorkers choose? A guy who can't bring himself to condemn the slogan, globalize the intifada. This wasn't some narrow victory where he squeaked by on a technicality. No. Mamdani demolished Andrew Cuomo. Yes, the disgraced former governor who somehow managed to be the more reasonable option in this race. Now think about that for a second. Andrew Cuomo, with all his scandals and baggage, was still the better choice than what Democrats actually voted for in the city. It's like, welcome to the fall of globalism and the rise of elite-approved civilizational collapse. That's where we are right now, guys. And if you think this is just about New York, you're not really paying attention. Let me paint you a picture of what actually happened here, because the mainstream media certainly won't. You remember 9/11, right? If you're old enough, you remember exactly where you were when those towers came down. You remember the skyline burning. You remember the unity that followed. Where was real unity across America? You remember when New York became a symbol of American resolve against terrorism. Remember how they started calling Rudy Giuliani America's mayor because of how he calmed the city down and how he handled the fallout from the towers coming down? Well, congratulations, Democrats. That New York City is officially dead thanks to you. We've gone from a city that stood as a global symbol of courage and resistance to terrorism to a city that just elected someone who sympathizes with terrorists. In just a few short years, New York has fallen from defiance to capitulation. And the speed of that collapse should frighten everyone. Now, here's the part that's really going to make your blood boil. Who exactly voted for this guy? Was it the immigrant communities who understand the real world consequences of bad governance? Was it working class families who need safe streets and functional schools? Not even close. Not on your life. You might not believe this. Mamdani's strongest support came from white progressives. You know the type, purple hair, trust funds, and absolutely zero real world responsibilities. The same people who love socialism from the comfort of their $1 million brownstones, the avocado toast aristocracy, if you will. Meanwhile, Cuomo actually won in the Black and Hispanic communities that have to live with the consequences of these terrible policies. Think about the irony there. The communities that would actually suffer under Mamdani's radical agenda were smart enough to vote against him. But the wealthy white liberals who can insulate themselves from the chaos by building walls and having security around their properties, they were all in. Chicago went through pretty much the same thing when white rich progressives elected Brandon Johnson, while at the same time the working class minorities voted for stability instead. And check out Chicago today. It's a war zone. Crime is skyrocketing. Businesses can't leave the city fast enough, and families are escaping as quickly as they can. This isn't progress. It's an ideological coup led by trust fund revolutionaries who treat socialism like a status symbol and treat rising crime like it's beneath their zip code. These people are literally colonizing working class cities and installing their preferred radicals. They used to call this gentrification when I was growing up, where the status of a community rose because wealthy people moved in to rebuild everything. But this is far worse for working class families, because when everything falls apart, guess who suffers? It's not the people who have butlers. Oh, they'll just move to the next city and start all over again. So what exactly is Mamdani promising these useful idiots that are voting for him? Oh, you're going to love this. His platform reads like it was scribbled on a dorm room whiteboard at 2 a.m. during a particularly intense philosophy major's breakdown. Government, grocery stores. Free everything for everyone. Can you imagine your local supermarket becoming the DMV? So many people will be trying to get in that you have to stand in line so that you can finally get into a room where you can sit down and wait for hours. And by the time they call your ticket, you walk into the store and mostly everything's gone already. That's what they just voted for in New York City. They also voted for frozen rents regardless of market conditions, and punishing taxes for anyone who actually works and contributes to society. It's a fantasy wish list designed to attract young people who are old enough to vote but too stupid to understand basic economics. And they have this thing where they're trying to frighten billionaires enough to leave the city. That's madness. I never got a job from a poor guy. And who's going to pay for this socialist parody?
So whoever this saga set is. So, what's your opinion on due process getting thrown away before our eyes? What due process? What are you talking about? You talking about the illegals? Because here's their due process. If they have a final deportation order, they get locked up and sent back. That's their due process. If they don't have a final order and they came here illegally, they get to go in front of an immigration judge. That's due process, and sent back. That's due process. That's it. If you came here illegally, you go in front of an immigration judge and you get sent back. If you already have a deportation order, you get sent back. You don't go in front of a judge. That's your deportation. That's your fucking due process.
Paradise. Not the elites who voted for him. Not the mimosa-sipping crowd safely tucked away in their gentrified neighborhoods. Like always, it'll be working-class families in the Bronx and Queens who get stuck with the bill and have to live with the consequences of the nonsense. And if you think AOC is going to help these people after the outcome, then it truly is amazing how the mind of an idiot functions. These are what we call luxury beliefs. They're ideas that sound brilliant when you're brunching in Brooklyn, but they leave working class neighborhoods in absolute ruins. We've seen it time and time again. You can only afford to believe this nonsense when real world consequences never touch your doorstep. Now, let's talk about who this guy really is, because his background tells you everything you need to know. Zoran Mamdani, who was born in Uganda, came to America, the land of opportunity. He got an education, prosperity, and a political platform that most people around the world could only dream of. And what does he do with those opportunities? He's made an entire career out of attacking the very country that handed him everything on a silver platter. This guy is basically what you'd get if progressivism grew a beard and decided to run for office. He's loud, he's bitter, and he's completely allergic to gratitude. And here's the really scary part about what's happening to the Democratic Party. They're not even trying to pretend anymore, guys. They've completely abandoned any notion of workable governments or broad appeal. They've stopped trying to win hearts and minds. Balance means nothing to them anymore. It doesn't matter. Competence is irrelevant. Seriously, how else do you explain AOC? All that matters now is throwing red meat to the loudest, most unhinged parts of their base. It's pure political theater designed to generate applause from people who will never have to live with the consequences they create. But they feel less guilty about being so wealthy while the people around them suffer in poverty and misery. And that's why failing parties who do this, who reach out to the worst of the worst within the parties, always wind up supporting the 20% out of an 80-20 issue. And that's what we see right now coming from the Democratic Party, is it not? This is what happens when a political movement starts to show signs that it's falling apart. It trades reason for ideological purity. Think about that. The party wants you to act like the woke supremacy here. You agree with the collective, no matter how outrageous they become. And you can't reason with anything you may disagree with that is believed by the collective. It stops being about actual leadership and turns into performance art. And that show always ends the same way, with real people getting hurt. But tonight, the general election isn't until November. There's Eric Adams, Andrew Cuomo. So maybe he loses, right? Maybe sanity prevails in the end. That's not the point anymore. The damage is already done. We've been seeing it for some time. This is just a culmination, this election. The Democratic Party revealed exactly what it stands for now, and it's not pretty. This primary wasn't about tax policy or subway funding or crime on the streets or any normal municipal issue. This was a referendum on whether we hold on to basic societal values or let everything unravel before our eyes. And you can feel it happening, can't you? Can't you? We're being forced to choose between reality and delusion with all the woke crap that we went through, between civilization and chaos. That's the line that we're drawing now. If Mamdani somehow wins in November, New York won't be the only casualty. the rest of the country will see exactly what's coming for them next. It'll be a live demonstration in how quickly socialist policies collapse under pressure. Empty grocery stores, rising crime in the streets, tax hikes that force working families to flee. All of it will be impossible to ignore. And maybe that's exactly what America needs to see so that they don't fall for it when our media and academia types support it to the hilt. You know, Abraham Lincoln once said that sometimes the best way to get rid of a bad policy is to enforce it strictly. Let people experience the full consequences of their choices. Did you ever notice that these crazy things only happen in blue run cities? You don't hear of Republican cities collapsing because of idiotic policies. Now, you know who really nailed what all this means? J.D. Vance. Our vice president saw right through this whole charade and called it exactly what it is. J.D. Vance tagged Mamdani as the new leader of the Democratic Party in a post on the liberal replacement for X, Blue Sky, that was equal parts congratulations and trolling. And honestly, he's not wrong. He wrote, "Congratulations to the new leader of the Democratic Party." What Vance did was put the Democratic Party at a crossroads. They can either defend this circus act that they've created, or they can admit that their party has completely been hijacked by radical lunatics. There's no safe middle ground anymore for the Democratic Party. This goes way beyond one mayoral race in one city. This is a reflection of what kind of country we're becoming, and the battle lines couldn't be clearer. We're watching in real time as one political party abandons everything that made America work, that made America great. They're choosing ideology over reality and chaos over order. But if there's any silver lining in this disaster, it's this. When America finally sees this madness for what it really is, when crime starts surging, when the taxes pile up, when everything starts falling apart, they will return to strength, to sanity, and sovereignty. Because reality always wins in the end. Always. And when it does, the American people will remember who stood for civilization and who cheered while it burned. The choice is ours to make. You know, 2026 can't come soon enough. And I think between now and the midterms, the American people will witness the decay of blue cities like New York and decide how they're going to vote. All right, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.
Yeah, I think the one thing that my brother's missing is I don't think they're going to let the rest of America see what actually is going on in New York. They have a way of not reporting and covering up and making excuses. They've refined that to an art. Most people don't know what's going on with the illegals in New York. They don't know that they're putting them up in hotels and all that. And now they're starting to throw them out because I think the money ran dry. So now what are all these fucking illegals going to do? What are they going to do? They're going to start robbing people. They're going to start stealing food. What else are they going to do? You know? And Trump's got a stated goal of 3,000 deportations a day. He's at about half of that, I think. And even if he does do that, that's only 3 million people out of like 12 that ain't going to be in the country. And if the Democrats elect a president in 2028, they'll do it all over again. They'll open up the borders. So it's you know, I don't know. At least we have a president that's doing that. You know? What's up, Special K? I'm reading off my phone because it's comfortable to sit like this and I'm peering at the fucking computer. Make sure I'm all messages. Broadcast bar said, Jimmy, I heard the UK is practically a terrorist training camp. Yeah, well, you know, in the UK, the politicians sold them out. I don't think the UK is salvageable. I don't. I mean, there was some guy. I saw this video where they locked this guy up because he was at a parade and he kept promoting England. He's like, "Long live England" or whatever he was saying. And the cops surrounded him and they locked him up. Sticking up for his own country in his own country, he got locked up. That's wow. That's pretty sad. That's really fucked up. Yeah, it's. I feel bad for the British. You know, I mean, their culture's basically been wiped out, right? It's basically been wiped out, right? Depending where you live, you might hear that weird call to prayer for the Muslims. Now, there's Muslims around here, but there's no call to prayer, you know. And they seem like they're decent. They're well dressed. They don't look like thugs. You know what I mean? At least not the leaders or ushers or whatever, the ones that work the mosques. But the neighborhood is shit. There's a park down the street. You should see the amount of trash that people leave in it. It's ridiculous. The amount of trash is just. It's sad because it's a nice park. And, I bought a fish sandwich off this black chick. She was cooking food right on the street, and you can get really good food from people that cook on the street. And yeah, that fucking sandwich was jumping up and down. It was cooked just right, not overcooked, not undercooked. and me and my old friend Chris, or was he even my friend? We got some barbecue from these black folks a couple of years ago. They were on the street. Oh my God, man, it was unbelievable. The food was so fucking good. Like we said, I think certain parts of the UK, especially cities, will become increasingly balkanized. Yeah, I mean, it's just amazing how much politicians now are pretty much fucking you instead of their stated reason of representing you. You know, because it doesn't matter what the majority wants, and then they even twist up what's purported to be the majority. You know, the media, the media's got a lot of stupid people hooked. You know, I mean, they literally tried to convince people that men can become women. I don't know how many people I know that believe that. That's God, it's completely insane. Completely insane. Completely insane. So this Latoya is Nelson, right? Of course, the Chinese guy came on again. That I guess that's one of Nelson's characters. My brother ripped him a new asshole. Oh my God. Ain't seen AJ and his dead Pakistani girlfriend. It's just unbelievable. What? You heard me. Run the tape back. I'm not repeating myself. Prove to us you're from China. Prove it. You can't. So 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 Nelson's under Latoya, the Chinese guy, and who else? Who else? So Bobbity said Tom Holman should wait for cubic zirconium here to accept the mayoral outcome. While he's giving his acceptance speech, he gets detained and deported because he lied on the citizenship form. Well, he said something. He said something about keeping Trump, and ICE out of the city. I hope to God that this new mayor does something wrong and Trump just locks him up. Just lock him the fuck up. Lock his ass up. You trust federal, you need to get shit. There goes my stream again. I just saw the circle of death. And I shouldn't because I'm going by the fucking phone. I just got the phone right next. Yeah, it was two circles of death. I got video on my YouTube page speaking Chinese. What's your YouTube page? We'll pull up your YouTube page. You won't give it to me. You won't give it to me. I know you won't. Come back, Nelson. We miss you. Who's not, Jimmy? Who is Nelson? I don't know. I don't think I've seen you before, Latoya, or if I did, you're probably Nelson. Nelson's somebody that comes on as somebody else. What's up, Andrew? Gone way low down. I don't know what you mean, Andrew. Oh, what the fuck? How much does a pack of red apples, or American Spirit cost nowadays? Well, American Spirits in the city is at least $14, $15 a pack. And you can get it's I would say 15 a pack. You can get a pack of Marlboro, these for probably about 13, 14. But in black neighborhoods, it's either the Chinese or somebody else. They go down to Virginia. I don't know if you can read that, but that's a Virginia tax stamp. No, you can't really see it. They get it cheaper down there, and I can get that for $10.42. $10.42. So shy of $11. Like $10.40. 10.42. Now out in the suburbs, you don't have that extra tax. City's got like a $2 or $3 tax per pack. It's ridiculous, you know. But Broadcast Bar said, Latoya, the name sounds like a $2 hooker. It's about twice that price in UK. Wow. Jesus Christ. I know in Australia, I think a pack of cigarettes is like $50 or something. Let me see. How much is a pack of Marlboro in Australia? $50. Over $50. $70% of the price is from Australian taxes. A 20 pack of Marlboro, this $57.99. AUD, so that's $57.99 AUD to dollars. What? 3,000? Jesus Christ. It can't be. So $57.99 AUD to dollars. $37.51. So $37 per pack of cigarettes. God damn. I get 3.5 packs for that. They've been pushing the vapes really hard here. I've been trying to switch over to the vape, to be honest with you. I'm smoking way too much. I'm having some breathing difficulty. You know what I mean? So, I was thinking about getting hypnotized or something. It's getting ridiculous. Do I like Marlboro Lights? No. No. Now, sometimes I buy the American Spirits, the black pack. But in the city, I mean, you know, if you go into a 7-Eleven or a Wawa in the city, I think cigarettes are $14 or $15. Let me see. How much is a pack of Marlboro in Philadelphia? It costs between 10 and 13. You're paying 13. This guy's blasting his fucking teeth. I mean, do you really have to have it that fucking loud? Missouri cigarettes are like $6 something a pack. Pennsylvania imposes a state cigarette tax of $2.60 per pack. Wow. The federal tax is $1.01. So you're paying $3.60 in taxes. And the retail adds a 7% markup. Wow. Okay, so it's starting to get hot as bowls out here. Listen, people, I got to end this because it's hot, and my man's got his fucking shabab shabam fucking music or TV on, or whatever the fuck it is. It's driving me nuts. But and plus, I'm really tired, man. I'm sorry. I'm still recovering from you guys keeping me awake at that other house. I'm not able to fall asleep when I want to. It really fucked me up. Really did. And I lost my wallet because I was too tired on the train. Left my wallet on the fucking train. That fucked me all up too. Red Apples is a fictional cigarette brand from Tarantino movies. Oh, okay. Well, listen, people, I'm going to get out of here. I got to cut it short. I thank you for coming. I got 299 subs. Gonna break the 300 fucking mark. How about that? 298. Somebody on something. All right. Well, look, thanks for stopping by, and I'm out of here. All right. Yeah.